My first impression of Jill was I was just really intimidated by her at first when I first started talking to her. She seemed like just someone who was really fast and really knowledgeable about rowing. But the more I got to know her, the more I came to respect her and was less intimidated by her. She's a great coach. She's very honest, which is what makes her such a great coach. I've never had anyone quite like her coach me before. She is honest. If you do something really bad, she'll tell you like very straightforward that was like a bad stroke or a bad piece. But if you do something really well, she'll also tell you, and that makes me trust her a lot.
So 3 words that describe Jill. I would have to say she is hilarious, caring, definitely caring, and she is very ruthless, but in a great way. The first time I met Jill was in the vans in Cocoa Beach on the way to practice, and she had just gotten there after like a horrible winter cold in Madison and everything. So, and I didn't really know much about her, but I could tell right away that she was going to be a huge asset to our team, not only as a rower, but that she was going to like really help us change the way the team was and improve. And I think that since, I was blessed to be her teammate, and since then I'm so glad that I've been able to work with her as a coach. Like, she's brought a lot to our team here. She has a lot of knowledge and she really cares about everybody, and I can tell that she has it in her that, she really wants everyone to succeed, and she's gonna be a huge asset to the team and a huge asset to whatever she decides to do in the future.
Jill is a really inspiring coach, and I'm really glad that she's a 5th year now. She was really intimidating to begin with, but I just think that her toughness and her strength is so amazing, and it rubs off on everyone. Whoever said that an Australian didn't like a Kiwi.
One time after practice, I remember we were all moving pretty slowly, and Jill told us that we looked like a bunch of dead hamsters. And to this day, that just stays in my mind. It was pretty funny, but true. And every time I finish like an erg piece or something, I just remember what she said. I'm like, oh, I can't look like a dead hamster. Like, gotta walk around with some purpose. And it was funny and a good memory of her.
So Jim, honestly, is probably hands down one of the best coaches that I've ever had. All years, like any sport I've ever played, high school, grade school. And I just remember feeling so inspired after every practice and feeling like I could really accomplish anything, and I could tell that he really believed in me. So thank you, Jim, because I would not be here without you. So one thing that I really appreciated about Jim is that you could tell that he genuinely cared so much about each of his athletes and all of the rowers on our team. I think coming to college, being the first time that I was away from my family, it almost felt like he was a second dad to me, because I just missed having kind of that father figure that I could tell just cared about me and what I was doing, and that I was being safe on the weekends and what I was eating, and he just really filled such a paternal role, and I think that feeling goes to the whole team. It wasn't just me, but it was everyone who felt that way, so we really appreciated that.
One thing I really appreciated about Jim was, for all of us recruits coming in, there was some sort of confusion around the coaching change and just how we were going to sort of be coached, basically. And it's also just sort of a stressful transition coming from high school rowing to college rowing. And he just really made it easy, made us feel comfortable, pushed us in a way that made us so much better, and ended up being one of my favorite years of rowing to date. One of my favorite memories of Jim is the fall of my freshman year, one of the first couple rows that we had with the walk-ons. We were out probably around second point and doing some off, low pressure, half pressure stuff. And Jim was trying to explain what half pressure meant to all of us, not just the walk-ons, because we came in and he wanted to explain sort of everything to everyone. And so he goes, if you order a whole pizza and you eat a whole pizza, that's a lot of pizza that you just ate. But if you order, if you just eat half the pizza, that's still a lot of pizza. So half pressure is still a lot of pressure. And it was just one of those classic Jim jokes that made everyone laugh. And yeah, we were an hour and a half into this practice, didn't really know when we were gonna get back. And then it was just such a funny Jim moment that sticks with me all this time later.
So I remember my freshman year in the fall, we were practicing out on Lake Mendota, and Jim was trying to explain to us how to catch, like how to be direct with our catches. And so he was out on the launch and he used this analogy that I will never forget. He told us that rowing is like cow tipping, and he said that you have to sneak up on the catch and then push it over. And I think at that moment, that was when I realized, okay, I really like this coach. Like he just gets it, you know. And I think he fits right in with the Wisconsin culture.
I think Nancy's a really good coach because she's really approachable. Freshman year, being kind of intimidated, just coming in as a youngin'. It was really nice to have a coach that was like always by your side and just really easy to talk to, and she still is, which I think makes her a great addition to our varsity squad.
I think what makes Nancy a really good coach is she's really understanding and really easy to talk to. Freshman year, with all of my health issues, she was like really helpful.
Nancy is an awesome coach. She cares so much about each and every one of us and goes out of her way to show us how much she cares. It's been really fun to be with her for the last 4 years. She came in, it was her first year as a novice coach, our freshman year for the senior class, so it's been awesome these past 4 years. Thank you.
She really knows the sport. Sitting on the launch with her when I wasn't rowing, I don't know, she would like point out things that I did not see, and she's like, that's what you need to work on, blah, blah. And it was just really helpful.
One thing I really like when we're erging is when she comes up behind my erg and she's like, there's my diesel engine. It just really helps me push harder. When I think of Nancy, I think of
Freshman year when she couldn't tell Morgan and I apart every day.
Can you tell us apart now?
3 words to describe Bibi are fierce, passionate, and prepared.
My 3 ways to describe Bibi would be fierce, mentally tough, and wise.
3 words to describe Bibi Bryans would be fierce, intense, and definitely a dog person, even though I know that's not one word.
My first impression of Bibi was that she had a lot of pride for our team, and she created a culture that everyone wanted to stand behind and everyone had a lot of faith in. I think all of us as Badgers are really proud to be coming from the school we did and the team we did, and I think there's a lot of tradition that we can all stand behind.
I wouldn't want to have anyone else as our head coach. Bibi Bryans not only cares about us as athletes, but she cares about us as like the whole person. She cares about us succeeding in life and on our journey throughout our college career. She really does care about us and cares about our success on and off the water. And that's just something that you don't really get with a lot of coaches and you can't really find. And so that's something that is really remarkable and I really appreciate. So thanks, Bibi, for all that you do.
Bibi as a coach is going to really push you beyond your expectations of yourself. Sometimes she puts these standards out there that you think are way out there, but at the end of the day, she's going to push you past what you think you can do, and that's really how our team is going to get faster, and that's how all the women on our team have come to improve so much this year and the past years. And she just really knows how to motivate the team really well, whether that's on the water, on the erg, in the weight room. She's there, she's going to push everybody, and she's a coach who's straight up, She calls a spade, and for those who know me, I appreciate that in a coach.
One of my favorite memories of Bibi is that every year as a team we would do Who's in Your Foxhole, and that exercise was each person got a sheet of paper, you put your name in the center, and in each quadrant of the paper you would name a teammate who you felt really embodied the qualities of that quadrant. So for example, one quadrant would talk about who would you not want fighting on the other side. Another one would be who would die before they quit. Another one would be who would be always there for you and there to support you, and so forth. And I think that was a really great way to think about your teammates outside of a sport, athletic, context, and you really thought about your bonds and your trust and kind of the dynamic of the team.
One of my favorite memories, or multiple memories, of Bibi is she would always read from Sun Tzu, The Art of War, before either hard erg tests or important races to really, get not only your mind and body in the same place, but one of the ones I always really enjoyed was, in the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. And she always was able to relate both the physical and mental sense into one, and I really like that.
Bibi always had a lot of mantras for our team and for individuals specifically. One that she had for me when I first got onto the varsity team was to just act as if, and I think that's something that I am constantly reminded of no matter what situation I'm thrown into or what team I am on now or later in life. I know that you just have to fake it until you make it, and that's how you'll be successful.
Something I learned from Bibi Bryans that has always stuck with me is that you can find inspiration anywhere, whether it be Sun Tzu, The Art of War, if it's the name of your bow, if it's a mantra, if it's a team saying or a commitment you're making as a team, exercises like foxhole, or all of that mental side of rowing. I love that because that comes to me in times of stress, that I can always be inspired and uplifted from a multitude of different things, and I think that's an incredibly positive outlook on life, and I try to carry that with me everywhere.
Lesson learned from Bibi about life: invest in a Starbucks reward loyalty program early on. The real lesson I always learned from Bibi is she was always so unapologetically passionate about rowing and about what she was doing. And I took away from that, don't be afraid to go for something all the way. Just, if it's your passion, pursue it, live it, and enjoy it.
Forward!